Okay, so we are gonna do the hammer build tonight, and we're gonna do actually a couple of them, maybe a couple different tools as well. But for right now, we're gonna get started on the Epic hammer. We're gonna refine it a little bit. Gonna kind of change it up a tiny bit. And that should be the Epic part. And then we'll do a smaller version. I kind of want to do some coloring on it. On a smaller one. And if we have time, we'll try some different tools. Alright, so we got that mellowed out. I'm going to need that for a little holding rod. I'm going to set that there. Scratch my eyeball. And let's get started on the actual hammer head. We're going to do the hammer head first, and then we'll worry about the handle after. So right now we're going to get started on the actual hammer head. God, that's funny, considering we just came off Shark Week. And here we go. We got to pull off the bad glass here. And we're doing good. Welcome in, everybody. Should be rocking and rolling. And by the way, tomorrow, if you're on the tube, go look at the community tab. What's up, Hello? How are you? Welcome in on the Twitch. All right, there we go. So yeah, we're going to be making the glass hammer tonight. This is my epic little hammer. And we're going to do that guy. I'm definitely going to do a video, a follow-up video of smashing nails with it. So be on the lookout for that, which is going to be amazing. I am just starting on Twitch, and I will be streaming daily. We will be on Twitch daily now. All right, let's get the hammerhead started. So we're going to do the first one out of clear, but I am going to add some detail into it. I was thinking about making a meat tenderizer too. Like a glass meat tenderizer. You guys know the one I have that I use for impressions. So I was thinking it'd be kind of cool to actually do a physical meat tenderizer. I just got to make sure it is completely solid. We don't want any glass bits getting into any meat. So here we go. We're just pushing in some clear. So we're making the hammer head first. We're doing the head first. And then we'll worry about the handle right after. Now, the thing about the hammer that I made a mistake on the very first time I made this guy is I made it too small. And the hammer was bouncing off the nails. It didn't have enough weight behind it. So now I got to make them bigger so they can actually drive nails in. So that's why we got to go a little bigger on the one that I'm going to be doing the durability test on. See, we're just building it up. And we're going to keep going till I get enough on here. Now, oddly enough, the hammer that's in front of you actually has hammered hundreds of nails. And it has survived. It did get a little pitting in the head, though. It did kind of get a little bit of pitting in the head. But it didn't crack. Which is kind of cool. All right, so we're pushing more and more here. We're building it up. I think I'm going to do this one though, because we have the hammer that has the like pointed end. I think I want to do a ball peen hammer. So kind of like an auto body hammer. And I'm very familiar with that. All right, I think we got enough bulk for the initial hammerhead right now. Maybe a little bit more. So there's my initial push for the hammer, the head itself. We're going to come through and we're going to make the middle part now. Now this is the one that needs all the strength, because this is where all the force is going to be put on. So we're going to have to make this pretty chunky. And then we'll flatten it out and give it an appropriate look. Use a little smaller flame so I can control it a little better. Right about to there, and then we're going to go back to the bigger flame and pop it in. Don't know much on glass making? Well, hang out. We do a lot of different items. And I love making functional, meaning things that are useful. The Great Gray Wolf, thank you for joining the membership. Don't forget to check out the members tab on the community page for your discount into the fieryguy.com. Welcome in, Gray Wolf. I see you, Donna. All right, so this is the section right here that is going to have to take all the brunt, if you will. So we're going to have to make it extra durable. Now we're going to do a traditional hammer. Maybe I'll make a ball peen in the next one here. Unless you're kind of in auto body work, not many people know what a ball peen is. Okay, we're going to take it down. So yeah, don't forget to check out your discount code in the community tab under members only, so you can get your code for the discount at thefieryguy.com. All right, there we go. We're going to flatten this out a little bit now. Give it that hammer shape. Like that. So we just kind of flattened it out a little. And I do have to let it settle up. Let it kind of balance out. Ooh, got a little crooked there. All right, so you can see we thinned this section out. Let's push it together a little bit. Needed to bunch it up a tiny bit. Take out any wrinkles. All right, we're going to work on the back half of the hammer now. So this is going to kind of be the ice pick back half of the hammer. I call it the ice pick. I don't know what it's technically called. I'm not a hammer expert yet. All right, here we go. We're going to bunch all this up. Then we got to flatten it into 4 sides and then pull it down to the ice pick look. Or a pick. There we go. Okay, a little bit more to bunch up on here, and we'll start shaping this whole thing out. We got the initial shape done. Not too worried about it. All right, let's separate. And that consumed a lot of glass. So this is before we get too far with it. You can kind of see it's very rough. I call it like a rough cut. It's there, but not completely settled yet. So we're going to bring it over and start giving it a little smashy. There we go. So there's my initial forming of it before we get the ice pick look to it. Bring this down a touch. There we go. All right, let's form up the ice pick look. Oh, no, that's a solid piece. I wonder if it wouldn't break. Let's see here. What do I got to use? We got this guy. All right, let's go ahead and get this one shaped out. What's up, everybody? All right, let's get this formed up. Oh, just a little bit more. All right, so got that initially done. We're going to go ahead and bend this a little bit this way so I can start finishing the rest of it up. So we're going to disconnect it up here and create the actual hammerhead. Okay, there we go. Nice and easy. Set that off to the side. Let's go ahead and get it smashed down. I do sell uranium glass, yes. I have lots of uranium. In fact, this ball is all uranium. Question was, do we make uranium stuff? Yes, I do. There you go. That's the one we did from yesterday. Yep, that's it. There's in the light form. Okay, now we just need to smash this down a little, and then I got to refine some of these little sections, make them look a little better. Okay, we're looking good. So one of the things you got to get rid of is, see that little ridge from where I smashed it? Has that little ridge on there. I don't like that. I know some hammers have that, but I don't like it. So we're going to smooth that out and get rid of it. Just kind of refining it a little. Ooh, that got hot. All right, there we go. Let's clean all that up. So now we got the head all built pretty well. And I think I'm pretty happy with it. Now we just have to refine it a little. We're going to put another rod on the end. I'll start maneuvering it a little. And then at the very end of this hammer, I can fix the spot where I attach this right now. Once I get the handle on there. So we're going to refine this first, and then the middle section. Gotta keep it straight, it's bending everywhere. Alright, let's get this one fixed up. So I just call this the ice pick at the end. Does anybody know the technical name of it? Like the end here? It's not the dovetail section. It's like an ice pick. Someone could tell me what the real name of it is. I would be happy to take your input. I know we got to have some construction experts in here. Ooh, that is some serious stuff right there. Okay, so we got a good portion of it done. So we got the end, we got the hammer part. The middle section needs a little help right now, so we're going to go ahead and work on that. I should put a little holding rod right there just in case. Yeah, that little slip right there is just because I have it barely hanging on. It's just so I can kind of hold it in place a little when it starts getting melty. think that's good. Got a little wrinkle in here. But not a single air bubble. Okay, we do have to move this over a little bit. You can see it's a little crooked right there. It's kind of drooping down to one side. So we're going to heat it up and just boop it over. Okay, there's our initial core. I think it's pretty well built. And we're going to go ahead and pop it in the kiln, let it settle up a little bit, and then we'll attach the handle that I'm going to build right now. Okay, so we got to build us a handle. Let me pull up an image. I want to make sure I get it right. Sorry, one second. Okay, got it. We're going to bring this down a little. Let's go ahead and separate this section here. Okay, so the next step is we got to build ourselves a little handle. This one's a little smaller rod, but it allows me to control the glass a lot better. So we're going to fuse it on right there. Little mushroom charm? Oh yeah, we definitely have uranium mushroom charms. Absolutely have uranium mushroom charms. Okay, we're going to push this section in a little thicker. I noticed the hammer has a little thick section for the bottom of the handle. So we're going to push it together. Ultimately, it would have been better to have a bigger glass rod, like a 1-inch rod, as opposed to a 3/4 inch, and then taper it down. Rather than have to push all this together, but it is what it is. So we're going to build it up now. And then we'll taper it down a little bit towards the end where it's going to get attached to the actual hammer. Did you guys see that bug attack me? What the hell's wrong with that bug? Yeah, it flew in the flame. That's what you get. And it's a yellow jacket. That was a yellow jacket that attacked me. Little bastard. So you can see I'm kind of bulking it up right there, just a little bit. Got to do it slow though. Alright, we're getting to a point where I can start really tapering it down. A little bit more. I think I'm going to have to attach a rod back here. It's getting a little bit hot. Ooh, that rod is hot as hell right now. All right, I got to set this down. All right, let's go ahead and attach. I was running out of room. It was getting way too hot. And I'm going to need just about all this glass for the handle. All right, let's try this and finish it up. That's better. It feels a lot better. Got about 2 inches left to go. And then we'll attach another rod on here, shorten it up a little, make it a little easier to manipulate. Okay, I got the bolt done. Let's go ahead and fatten up this end here. And then I can completely refine this. So what I'm going to do is start heating all this up, smoothing everything out. We're going to fatten it up down here, extend it a little right here, and then hopefully carve some ridges in for the handle. We'll put a few little ridges in there, so like a grip. Just got to make sure this is straight before we even begin. So we're going to taper all this down and then widen it back here. Just one section at a time. Okay, we're good there. Now we'll work this half. We're going to try and get it to blend smooth. All right, we're getting there. A little bit more. We got this. And then I noticed just a little wobble up here. A little warble. That's better. Okay, I know the hammers have a little bit of a flat side towards the bottom of the handle. We're going to try and put that in. Not a big push, just a little bit. Okay, I think I'm good there. So the next step is I'm going to try and carve some lines into it. Let's get that balanced out. Okay, let's carve in some lines. Okay, so there we are. We got some grip put in there. We're going to go to the other side and do it, and then I got to straighten it out. It's going a little wobbly, but I expected that. Just warm it up. All right, so we're getting some texture built into it. I'm going to go ahead and put little dots in here. Ooh, it bent again. I kind of want to create little air portals in it. Let's grab, which tool do I want to use? Yeah, we'll use this. That looks way better. So now we got like a little texture to it for the hammer. There's our carving. Little bit. Little details. I think that looks pretty decent for a hammer handle. I think I'm okay with that. We're going to fix up the bottom here a little bit. Angle it a little bit better. I can live with that. TikTok. I caught this just in the right time. TikTok's doing its thing. All right. What's up, everybody? It's still a little wobbly right here. I do want to try and bring it down just a little better, and then we'll attach it to the hammerhead. Still just a little bit wobbles. I'm really debating on taking this off and putting that handle on a straight rod and putting the rod on, if I can't get this right. Trying to do this by hand is hella hard. Most people that do this have a glass blowing lathe, so it can turn it perfectly for them. And they don't have a problem with it. I do not have a lathe. I gotta do it by hand. We're going to bunch this up a little bit and give it a small pull and see if I get it. If not, I'm going to have to modify it and just use a straight pre-built rod onto the handle. Fuse it on there. But I'd rather do it by hand. Okay, that looks better. So I have to fix this up right here, and I think it'll be okay. Okay, I can live with that. Is this side all finished up? And then we'll attach the hammerhead. All right, let's burn it off. All right, before I go any further, I am going to put some gloves on. I'm worried about the flame doing a bite back on me. I need to let that cool for a second. So what I mean by a flashback or a bite back is when the flame hits certain spots, it can travel down the glass and actually come back and hit you. So it like reflects off. On these pieces, that can definitely happen. This offers a slight bit of protection. It doesn't completely do away with the danger, but now we just got to make sure the weld is good. Sorry, this takes a minute. It's very slow. Uh-oh, turned my handle. Crap. The handle got turned. All right, got to fix it. There. So I don't know when it happened, but the handle twisted. So what has to happen right now is I have to let it cool, and then you hit the spot a little bit at a time to weld all that in. Without trying to move the handle. So it should look like one solid piece, and you should not be able to see a weld mark. So I'm going to have to do this very slow. Let it cool, and then go back at it before it wants to bend and melt the wrong direction. The handle's on straight. But by the time I get done, you should not see a weld mark at all. Right there. And I think we're just about done. One little spot in that back end. Hey, yeah, I think we're pretty done. One last little pass. That's not going to break. So tomorrow I'm going to make a video of me hammering nails with this bad boy. We're going to hammer in some nails in a 2x4. Maybe we'll do it on live stream. What do you guys think? Should we do it on live? That way no one can say I cheated. Take my portable camera out. Do a full live stream of hammering nails with this. Then no one can say it wasn't done. Because I know there's going to be a peanut gallery trying to say so. I know, right, Christy? Got a little flat spot in the wrong area there. Yeah, we'll do it live. And there we go. So there is hammer ready to go. We'll do some nails with this bad boy tomorrow. I have to pop it in the kiln. I can't remove that tonight. That part has to come off later. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's kind of freaking fun, right? That's what I'm talking about. Actually, I'll leave my gloves on. I don't know if this one is going to break at some point. It possibly could. Because it's been through probably a couple hundred nails. So I'm going to put my gloves on before we do this because I don't want to cut my finger. But yeah, you can see, oh shit, I'm knocking everything off. I just shattered some stuff on my bench. It like went all over the place. I shouldn't do that. Watching from India, well, welcome in. Love having people from all over. Give a big shout out wherever you're from. I love seeing people from all over. Give a big shout out if you're from, I'm from my mother, so I'll give a big shout out to my mom. All right, so I was thinking of doing a little baby hammer, and I want to do it in kind of like a wood grain color. So let's try a small one, like a, yeah, small hammer. Pineville, Oregon, welcome in. Australia, oh, that's awesome. Mexico has great glass blowers. Mexico has some of the best glass blowers in the world. I'll bet money on it. Welcome in. Wyoming, welcome in. Guatemala, Iowa, Los Angeles, City of Angels, Kentucky, Illinois. Man, we got people from all over. I love seeing y'all. Thank you for doing a city check. I appreciate it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to build up a little bit of glass. I'm going to kind of put it together. Well, I need a longer rod than that. We're going to kind of bunch it up, and I'm going to use these colors here. And we're going to create a wood grain effect. Now, this isn't what it looks like. It kind of goes to a caramel butterscotch color. It doesn't look like it will when it's done. It's not going to look like that, but we're going to create a wood grain. Texas, South Carolina. I need to go to South Carolina. I have not been there. I just saw something on YouTube where they were in South Carolina, and I don't remember what it was. And I said, I need to go there. Bigfoot. Oh, I got Bigfoot. Nova Scotia. We got Bigfoot. We're in Washington. Aruba. Russia. What's happening? Quebec, Canada. Welcome in. Alaska. Yeah, we got Bigfoot here. I'm on the hunt for Bigfoot. Arizona. I'm going to read that as Nagaland. I'm probably going to mess it up. Washington. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Pacific Northwest, baby. Orca country. Love me some orcas. Argentina. I need to go to Argentina too. Yeah, Glass Bigfoot definitely has to be. I'm going to go visit Christy. I'm definitely heading to South Carolina. I can't remember what it was. I want to say it's food related because look at me, I like food. So it had to be food related. It definitely had to be some type of food. So I'm going to make a little mini hammer. And we're going to do a wood grain on it. And then I'm going to try and make it metallic-y in the hammer head. We're going to try and make a metallic hammerhead. Pennsylvania! Greenland. Homemade glass lathe? No, I'm not that technical. I'm good with glass, but anything else I'm bad. So this, I'll tell you what I thought about building, and there's a story behind it, why I want to do mini set of tools. So I think I was 1 or 2 years old. I was very young, and my grandfather bought me this little set of tools. I think I was like 1. I'll have to ask Mom, my mother, which, by the way, I learned this profession from my mother. And it was this picture frame, and it had a little mini wrench, a screwdriver, a couple different tools on it. I still have it. And they were kind of like baby's first tools, and they were built into this like picture frame. So I thought I would replicate that out of glass. It would be kind of cool to have just this glass set of tools for like just a display. Can I make a fishing rod and reel? I bet you I could. The hard part would be trying to get the line, but yeah, I could definitely do it. Mom's doing okay. Don't have to thank me for my service. That's cool. I appreciate it, but it is what it is. I just did what I did. All right, so first color we're going to use is called Amazon Bronze. It's kind of like a darker bronzy color. So what I want to try and replicate is a wood grain. We're going to try and create a wood grain. I understand you. You're good. I'm dyslexic, so I understand anything crazy. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this around. We're going to create a simulated wood grain. This little method here is called wrap and rake if you bring it down, which I will be doing. So it's wrapping it around and then raking the color through. So this is the initial way of getting the color on. We just spin a little of that Amazon bronze on there. This will be the trippy color right here. We're going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to add a little silver to this, golden, and then we'll do that color. So that color, I want to show you what it does. It's pretty amazing. This is going to be very thin, just a small accent. I don't want too much of this on there. Wow, that fired right back at me. All right, so take a look at that color. It looks kind of like a tan beige. So this color contains about, I want to say 20% silver, like pure silver, and it creates a caramel butterscotch color from that silver. So when the silver and the glass mix, they create like a butterscotch caramel. I'm going to go ahead and flatten out a little piece of it for you so you can see. I like showing this off. So you can see it just changed color. So that's the actual color right there. But when I get it, it looks like that. But yeah, there's the actual natural color when it's fired up. All right, let's create a wood grain texture. Let me explain what I'm going to do and then we'll do it. I like explaining things. Sorry if I talk too much. So we got all the color wrapped around right there. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to heat it up and we're going to start mixing it all up, trying to simulate a wood grain. So it's very much like finger painting. Think of like finger painting with 3,000 degrees. It's that. We're going to go ahead and start that now. I'll show you part of the process and then you'll see the difference. Let me get 2 sections of this done and I will show you what it looks like. I like explaining it. I had someone message me saying I talk too much. Sorry. I am what I am. Here we go. I just like explaining the process to people. So there are the straight lines, and then there it is mixed. Let me heat it up so you can kind of identify it. It's very brief when you see it. But you can see how it's all mixed right there. And then after I get it mixed, we'll twist it a little bit. Try and give that wood grain effect. But honestly, it is like finger painting. Or cake decorating. One of the best classes I ever took for glassblowing was cake decorating. I learned a lot of technique for glass in a bakery class for cakes. I could decorate a cake like no tomorrow. I just can't bake it. My cake came out like crap. My cake was all like lopsided. But the teacher was pretty cool. She just said it's artistic. But if you ever get an opportunity to take a cake decorating class, they are hella fun. Yeah, my mom's doing a lot better. She's moving around a lot better now. I'm proud of her. She's been, so for those of you who don't know, my mom has had 6, or actually probably 7, but 6 confirmed strokes. So the fact that she survived over 6 strokes is really good, but she's getting very mobile again, and I'm happy and proud of her for trying. But she's the one that taught me how to do this. And I'm always paying tribute to her for that. So there we are. We're completely wrapped all the way around, and now it's all kind of folded onto itself. We're going to go ahead and button it up right here, and then as I heat it up, I'm going to twist it just a little bit, not much. And then we're going to shape the hammer handle real quick. So we're going to shape it out. All right, here we go. So we're going to bring it out, just give it a small twist. Dragonfly, thank you for being on the, thank you for being a member. Speaking of which, members on YouTube, don't forget to go and look up your discount code. And definitely keep an eye on a post tomorrow. I have a huge drop coming tomorrow. And then if you're on TikTok and you are one of the, I think they call it fan club now, not subscription, message me for the code if you're one of the members on TikTok. All right, so we're going to pull this down into the hammer. But yeah, if you want to become a member on YouTube, YouTube right now has a thing. I think it's you get a trial month. I think it's a month, might be 7 days. But if you want to join in as one of the members, you get a trial. I wish TikTok would do that. All right, so we got our little handle pulled. We're going to taper it a little bit up at the top. I'm going to bring it over to the camera. We'll shine a light on it so you can see the wood grain. I just have to pull this down a little bit and even it out. There we go. Yeah, a little bit thinner. There we go. Boom. Now I'm going to bring over to the camera pretty close. We're going to use a little flashlight so you can kind of get a look of it. The color will change a slight bit more. Right now it's going to look kind of greenish, but it'll go more brown after it sits in the kiln for a little bit. Here we go. So it kind of has a little bit of that green look to it. But there, you can kind of see the wood grain effect like that. And then from the back end, you can see it's definitely got all those browns running through it. But yeah, I do like this color combo. So yeah, this colors are different in glass. They look different when they're hot as opposed to cold. I did a little sample test today before we finished the hammer too. Anybody want to guess what's in there? So I took obsidian, the actual rock, and put it in there. So I actually melted obsidian today as a test. I made a little leaf out of it. So I got all these little obsidian chunks like this, and I melted one. It takes a hell of a lot of heat to melt that thing though. But yeah, we melted actual obsidian. All right, I need my drill. So we're going to do a process called drill mix. Drill mix is using a hand drill to mix the glass and create a different color. Sorry, I need water. We got all that smoke from the Spokane fires coming in here, and it kind of helps clear everything out. I feel bad for everybody in the Spokane fires. I'm hoping you guys have a little better experience soon and get rid of those fires. I feel bad for you. I really, really do. I need to find a thick glass rod here to work with. 1 second. Oh, here we go. This will work. But yeah, those Spokane fires are pretty bad right now. I feel bad for everybody. My grandmother lived in Spokane for a long time, and I know the area very well. There we go. All right, let's mix this color up. So we're going to mix up this shiny looking color right here. We're going to mix it all up. And we're going to dilute it down with clear. And it should look like a metallic metal. Yep, family is safe. Ontario, what's happening? Major fires. I didn't know that. Well, I hope you have a better experience soon. I don't wish fire on anyone. All right, let's get this mixed up. So we're going to take this and we're going to dilute it down by drill mixing clear into it. We're going to dilute it down like 10-to-1 ratio. and it should look like a metallic glass. Very, very much metallic. So we just take this and we're going to heat it up. And I use the drill to kind of spin it up. It spins a lot faster than I do. We're going to kick on a bigger flame. We just work our way down the rod here. And this thing spins a lot faster than me. Back in the day, before there was a lot of colored glass, this is how you had to make color. You take like cobalt oxide or silver, gold, and you mix it in with the glass, and you get different colors. And then finally, someone got the bright idea to make color. I guess I should give a little context for it. So the glass I use is called borosilicate. Common brand is Pyrex. There wasn't a whole lot of colored Pyrex for a long time. It was mostly just clear. The color scene took a big shift probably about 1995. And then 96, 7, and 8 got a few more colors, and then after 2000 it really exploded. We got a lot of colors. But before that there wasn't hardly anything available. Alright, a little bit more and then we're going to make the hammerhead. Alright, we're good. Let's get a little heat into it. Now we got a new color. I don't even know if you'll see it, but it will have a little metallic look to it right now. That back end of it, you can see it's very metallic-y. Okay, let's make a hammerhead. Make for the little mini hammer. So I got to pull this down into a usable rod first, and then we'll start shaping it. So this will be the mini hammer. Again, this is kind of reminiscent of that little hammer or tool set that my grandfather got me when I was very young. I'll find it and take a picture of it. Put it in, maybe in with the video for this. fact, I did get it when I was 1, I believe. It's baby's first toys. So we just have to pull this down a little. I can leave that end kind of bulked up though. So let's give it a second to cool. So the first part's going to be right here. We're going to build the main part of the hammer, the middle section there, and then we'll pull the little tail down. So the first section is going to be the major portion of the hammer. Much easier to do on a small scale. There's our first little bunch right there. A tiny bit more. Before I go too far, we're going to round all this out and flatten it. Then I can shape the rest of it. I'll do it over here so you guys can get a better view. So there we got the first push. Now, notice it just kind of, it's got a nice flat spot. The thing I like doing on here is I like to round the edges of this out now. I'll show you in just a second. It gives it more of that hammer look. One more little push here. And that looks a little more like an actual hammerhead than the other way. I just think it looks better. Then we'll build the middle section, and then I'll pull the little tail off of it, the hammer tail, whatever you call it. We're going to use a small flame for this. Little ASMR for you people that love it. There, we just kind of flattened it out a little bit on the sides. Then we're going to pull the dove part of the hammer, the tail. I'm going to flatten this one out a little bit. I'm going to try and do the actual dovetail on this. So like the split at the end. There we go. Actually, I want to use this one. So there we got our shape going sideways, a little bit flattened. Now I'm going to bring this over, show you the shiny part while it's semi-cool. But now you can see how it's just reflecting that metallic-y color in there. Again, this color will look a little different when it's cooled off. There they are. Got to cut it. Didn't know you could cut glass, did you? So there it is before we split it and get that dovetail look. So we just put a little notch, a cut right there. And we'll carve it in a little bit. One little spot here just gave me a pain in the butt problem. There. So now we got that little dovetail on the back end. Christy, thank you so much for the galaxy. And thank you for the money gun. So now we got that on there. Let's go ahead and add the wood grain handle. So this is going to be all full color. And same thing, got to weld it in there really good. So we're going to use a small fine-tuned flame. There we go. This is a little off center. And last little bit right here. And then we'll pop this off, hopefully. Perfect. Got it off. The little mini hammer looks really good. I think I want to put a little spiral in there. Give me 1 second. I'm going to make an executive decision here. Put a little mini spiral in there. So what I did is I took that front and just put a tiny little spiral, like a galaxy, in there, just to give it a little character. Then we'll bring it over. You should see some cool colors bouncing out of this now. But you can definitely see it's very metallic-y up in the top. We got the wood grain. Now, as that sits in the kiln, it'll definitely get darker, more wood-like. You can see from the back end. It's got that ambery color going through. Then we'll pop that in the kiln. I'll have to finish that off later. All right. Well, I think that does it on making stuff. So I'm open for questions. If you guys have any questions on glass blowing or anything related, or if you have any questions in general on the channel, I'm happy to answer them. So at the end of my streams, I try to open up a... Wow, what happened to TikTok? Oh, there it went. So I try to open up the streams to questions. So if you have any questions on glass, let me know. I'm always open to answering glass questions. Thank you. Thank you. You don't have to call me boss, but I appreciate it. Mr. Hernandez, thank you. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Daisy Girl. Great DC, thank you. Perfect standing glass hammer. Yeah, I like making cool stuff. I like making things that other people don't. I just finished the wind chime. It's actually out in the wind right now. I'm going to try and go out after this live stream and film it at nighttime, clanking around. We did a wind chime, what was it, 2 days ago? We made the wind chime. So I'm hoping it's kind of banging around out there making noise. I kind of messed with it a little bit, and it does make some cool sounds. But I realized after I built the wind chime, there's more slots available on there. I can actually have like 8 different chimes coming off of it. So I might make 4 more and see how it works with 8. But yeah, and if you have any ideas for things that you want to see made on the channel, I don't do any 420 stuff. But if you have ideas for things you want to see made, the best place to find it is on the YouTube channel under the community tab. You'll see a little tab where it says posts or community tab. If you have ideas of things you would like to see the channel make, I'm very open to doing that. I just don't do 420 stuff. Is the hammer easy to break? Not really. I mean, is it breakable? Yes. But is it easy to break? No. Do I incorporate? Yes, I absolutely do memorial work where we incorporate ash from people or pets into the glass. That is something I'm very, very good at. 100%. Also, I wanted to show you guys, we did the silicone. Remember last night we did the marble with the little silicone chips in it? I'm just going to put it on here so you guys can see it better. Are you going to hold? Yeah, maybe. But there's the little rock meteors sitting in there. Now, remember what we did last night that was different? So I'm going to bring it over, and you can see the little chips in there, right? Here we go. Now we got that blue UV. Looks like the frickin' moon in there. It's like blue moon. Now I'm going to try and bring it way up to the camera if the camera will focus up. Never mind. It's on an adventure. It's rolling around. Sorry, dropped it. It's not breaking. But yeah, it's off doing its own thing now. It ran away. But yeah, that blue moon part looks really cool. I'm super happy with that. Yep, can definitely make a big black marble. Yes, we definitely make glass pens. Glass pens are a lot of fun. We can do the... I mostly do them where they have big inserts in them, but we can do the glass tips. I just don't warranty those. What did you want? Oh, memorial piece. Yeah, of course, Christy. We can definitely do memorial. Glass cake toppers. Yes, I can do a glass cake topper, but you have to... There's two things that have to be done. It has to be made kind of light. It can't be super heavy. And then when you have your cake made for the cake topper, you have to absolutely make sure you tell the baker that it's going to have a glass cake top, because they have to put these little posts inside the cake to support it. Otherwise, it'll collapse the cake. Ask me how I know. Can I make a glass Darth Vader with red eyes? No, I can't do anything trademark like that. Star Wars would... Disney would be all over me. Cats, yes. We can do cats. For sure. In fact, we're going to be making a cat head out of orange for my mom's nurse. She has gone above and beyond taking care of my mom. So I'm going to make her a little pendant, cat pendant. Yeah, we can. Christy, just message me. We can work out whatever you want to do. We can make it custom for you, and we can make it on live. A dowel or strong straw? Yeah, definitely can do that. We just finished about a month ago. I did drawer pulls or cabinet pulls for furniture. Oh, cane topper. Oh, cane topper. Yeah, we could definitely do that. I thought you said cake. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. Yeah, we could definitely make cane topper for sure. Yeah, that would be kind of cool, honestly. Yeah, cane topper would be awesome. I'd be more than happy to do that one. That'd be a fun project. Because like I said, I like making functional stuff. But yeah, we could make like a handle for a cane. I also want to do a walking stick and put a big glass ball on the end of a walking stick. I just need to find the right walking stick. Kind of like a Gandalf looking thing. Yep, we could do a dragon head on a cane. That wouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, the walking stick is something I really want to do. Kind of like Gandalf. With the big, put a big, I don't know, like a galaxy orb or something on the top of it. That would be awesome. Uh, yeah, the crystal ball, I am limited to about 3 inches. So if you want anything bigger than that, you're going to have to go to a furnace worker with the big furnace, and that's the way you would want to have that done. If you want anything bigger than like 3 inches, you definitely want to go to a furnace worker. And if you need help finding one, I can definitely refer you to a furnace worker that can do that. I've been around a while. I know a few people. Yeah. So the glass I use, again, is a Pyrex, basically. And in order to make a ball beyond 4 inches, you're going to have radiating heat of 2,000 degrees, within this far from you. And it'll burn you. You literally have to wear a fire suit. I don't know how much a Gandalf style walking stick would be right now. I got to find the walking stick first. I've been looking around to find a really cool one. I haven't found one yet that I like. I definitely want it kind of crooked, knotty, looking cool. I want it definitely bent. Yeah, I definitely want to have it like wicked cool. That would be like a funky cool walking stick. So anyway, I'll give it a few seconds here to see if anybody has any more questions. Oh, okay. Zeph, where did I learn and how? So I learned from my mother. She started when I was 2 years old, so I pretty much grew up with it. I've been around this pretty much my entire life. And that's how I got into it, and that's how I learned. I learned from my mom. Mom's awesome. Thank you for the watermelon, Christy. So yeah, I learned from my mother, who was an amazing glass artist. I mean, freaking fantastic. Have a good night, Christy. Thank you so much. And message me on your memorial idea. Let's walk through it. We'll put one together for you. L to the B, how are you? Thank you. Yep, shout out to Mom. That's right. Mom taught me. And the hard part for that was, so she started 1972, and if you know anything about the era of 1972, women weren't really allowed to do a whole lot. Even though they had rights, but every time she tried to learn from someone, they kind of shunned her away, saying, "You're a woman, you can't." So she had to learn pretty much on her own. I mean, she's awesome for that. Yeah, she was kind of, her first encounter with someone when she said she wanted to learn glassblowing was a guy at Disneyland. And she asked, "How do I start doing this?" Like a lot of people do to me. And he literally looked at her and said, "You're a woman, you can't." That's a true fact. He literally told her she's a woman, she can't. And I'm glad that times have changed. You're in Colorado? I am in Washington. I am looking for Bigfoot. Definitely looking for Bigfoot. I'll find Bigfoot someday. Maybe. But yeah. So she's the one that pioneered a lot of people. She inspired a lot of people to do this. So it was pretty amazing, the stuff that she had to go through to learn. And it's not easy today. There are still a lot of people that gatekeep and try and stop you from doing it. They think it's like a hidden secret. I don't think so. I encourage people to learn. I think the more the merrier. I love my job. Absolutely love my job. 100%. My job's awesome. Yeah. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Even if I won the lotto, I'd still be doing this. I would honestly be This is what I'd be doing, even if I had the lottery money. I just enjoy it. Thank you, Dale. I appreciate it. Thank you for saying I love watching your work. I appreciate that. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to call it a night. And yeah, don't forget to hit subscribe and follow. And we will catch you all later. Y'all have a good night, okay? We'll catch y'all later. Thank you, mods.